We're here with another Teacher of the Year profile. We're speaking with Austin Roughton, who is the Teacher of the Year for the Sacramento County Office of Education, and he's an outdoor science teacher at the SCI Park Environmental Education Center.
Yes, yeah.
Welcome, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about what your job is and how you work as an outdoor science teacher.
So at SCI Park, I each week teach about 26 to 28 students in my class group. And SCI Park is Sacramento County Office of Education's outdoor education program. And we're coming up on our 50th year of running the program, so it's a pretty neat place to work. And in terms of students going through our program, it's sort of a Sacramento thing that a lot of students in the community come up to and have as that sort of rite of passage. So with those students each week, I take them on hikes. We do a lot of different science-based lessons, hands-on lessons, either outside or inside on campus or nearby campus, as well as several nighttime activities like a night hike or looking at telescopes. So I like to think of it as like a science sampler. We do a lot of different science and expose the students to a lot of different science practices. And ultimately, they stay on campus for that week and ideally leave on Friday having grown in one way or another, socially, emotionally, or academically.
So you're giving them kind of a quick infusion of outdoor science.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you focus on and that you emphasize? Because I know we've talked about you want them to be good stewards of the earth.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, ultimately our teaching is aligned with the next generation science standards. And really the crux of SCI Park is this experience. The students are getting out there and practicing science rather than just memorizing it or reading about it. They are learning by doing. So we can focus broadly on ecology or specifically at stream ecology or forest ecology. There's all manner of scientific phenomenon that we focus on. And given the time of year or the seasonality or the weather even, it is totally up to the timing of when the students come up as to what we might focus on in any hike or any lesson. So it's really a different week each week with a different group of students. But when they get out there and see these scientific phenomenon that maybe they've only read about or seen a video of, it might be millipedes coming out on the trail or the California newts migrating back down to the creek. When they actually engage with these experiences, it is such a starting point for student-driven inquiry and student learning to occur naturally. You get the coolest observations, the coolest questions, and that can really result in meaningful learning from everybody. I learn stuff from the students every week.
So how do you kind of explain to the students that what they're learning are things that they apply to their daily lives?
Yeah.
Give me some examples.
So since SCI Park, it's located up in Pollock Pines, which is about an hour and a half from different points in Sacramento. We are, I mean, if you zoom out, we're part of this larger watershed, and the water that starts up in the mountains is connected down to the water down in Sacramento or the Consumnes or the American River. And this idea that the concepts students are learning about at SCI Park, it might not be their immediate local community, but when they learn about this concept of a watershed and these different scientific phenomenon that they can observe in their own backyard, whether it be insects or birds or the ecology of how plants grow, the experiences they have at SCI Park are so varied that they can pluck out and apply these different concepts to their daily lives. And broadly, we focus a lot on stewardship, so how to be caretakers to the planet and its natural resources, in addition to how to be caretakers to each other as individuals and communities. So we talk broadly a lot about the power that individuals have to affect change on the people and the things around them. So that is, I think, one really important skill set and kind of mindset that students leave SCI Park with is this idea of stewardship and the power that they can have on their community, their environment, and the people they interact with daily.
So teaching them the impact that they have on the environment.
Yeah, because ultimately individual impact adds up to this community level impact, and if you can effectively communicate your ideas and seek out actions that can evoke change, that is really one of the most powerful things a student can learn and take with them from SCI Park. Because it's tough to have them only for a week and then see them go on a Friday, because you really don't get to connect with them past that. But if you leave with them having gained a little bit of knowledge and gained a little bit of empowerment, I think that can result in a lot of different change once they go back into their own communities, their own classrooms, and take that knowledge and apply it elsewhere.
And you only have those students for a week, as you said.
Yeah.
What's it like watching them develop from a student who you know has not spent a lot of time outdoors to someone who really feels comfortable and very curious?
That's one of the most empowering things about being a teacher at SCI Park, is the fact that you get to connect with so many students. I mean, each year I'll teach close to about 1,000 students, and when you see that change happen week to week, the students who are just totally in their element when they're outside, and you talk with their teachers, and their teachers are surprised that they are engaging in such a way with the outdoors or certain science lessons, that is one of the most fulfilling parts of the job, is just to see how different students interact with each other, with the environment, with different aspects of the natural world, and to see that growth in them, and the fact that they've been exposed to something new that they didn't know they were interested in before. That's one of the, I think, ideal outcomes of the week, is that a student learns something about themselves that can potentially lead to something down the line, maybe a career path or a passion or a hobby. And you definitely see that spark in them when they connect with something that they've learned or experienced.
So what was the spark for you? What led you to become an outdoor science teacher?
Oh gosh, my background is in environmental sciences and forestry and natural resource management. And I actually started out working on a lot of different projects related to forest ecology and timber harvests and the ways in which we interact with natural resources, be they forests, waters, waterways, soils. And through that work, I talked to a lot of people, members of the public, whether it was near a trail we were working on or in the communities we worked in. And I started to realize that a lot of different folks have different ways of interacting with the natural world. And sometimes it impacted the ways in which, like, a forest is healthy, for instance. Mm-hmm. So just this concept of helping people understand the forest a little bit better and natural resources in general got me interested in sharing my knowledge and helping people understand. So that led me to pursue a career in outdoor education. I've been working in that field for about 5 years. And more recently, I went back to school and completed a master's and a credential to become a formal educator. And that was really, really at the heart of it, was helping people, A, become better stewards to the planet, and also just understand the world that they live in and interact with daily.
Because as a teacher, you're always learning too.
Yeah, and that's one of the best parts about being a teacher, is that you can't stay stagnant. You have to keep learning, you have to be adaptive, you have to be responsive to students, as well as the staff that you work with. So I appreciate that about the realm of teaching, is that you're always learning, you're always being kept on your toes, and there's never a dull moment.
So what does it mean to you to be a Teacher of the Year?
Oh, so many things, but I mean, ultimately it's an honor to represent myself, represent my school, SCI Park, my district, SCOE, and just model for folks, I think, how to be a nice human, how to evoke change in the world around you simply through your actions and your words, and really understand that teachers, representing teachers and the role they play in developing communities and developing citizens and their students, it's a really big task, but I'm excited to represent teachers in that way.
Well, empowering for the students and empowering for you too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. It was
appreciate
nice talking with you. We've been speaking with Austin Roughton, who is the Teacher of the Year for the Sacramento County Office of Education. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tim.